Than just a law firm. We're partners committed to you, your business, and your community. From family law to litigation, we're ready to serve. Visit SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors, the Chris and Amy Show.
Check it out. St. Louis, Mound City, we are going to have a great day today.
On 104.1 FM.
Let's take it from the top.
KMOX.
Good morning and a happy Monday to all y'all. It is the Chris and Amy Show. We are with you until 12 o'clock today. 314-436-7900 to join in. Watch the show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. You can leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app. The Odyssey app is also a place where you go to listen to this show live, listen to the station live, all the shows, podcasts from our show or any of the others, and Cardinals baseball, like tonight, they will play again as they continue their road trip.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
That was an eventful weekend here in St. Louis. Not in the best way, really. But there was a lot going on here and nationally. Like somebody went on a tweet spree. Or I guess it's not technically Twitter, is it?
Yeah, it's Twitter.
It's something.
And today, the Artemis 2 crew will break the record for how far humans have traveled from Earth. As they swing around the far side of the moon, they will be further from Earth than any human has been before.
It's amazing, man. It really is. And the Cardinals, they salvaged the finale of the series with the Tigers. They are in Washington tonight. We have the pregame show starting at 4:50 and a 5:45 first pitch. And that is on the Odyssey app and 104.1 FM KMOX.
So, how was everyone's Easter?
Fine. Everything was good.
Did you do anything?
Yeah, got together with the family and, and enjoyed everybody's company. Read some Truth Social posts, and that was it.
It was.
What did you do, Amy? What was your first thought in the morning?
I
was your
woke
first
up
thought?
and I went on a vulgar, hateful spree on social media.
I mean, it's awesome.
Well, no, it was shocking. Not only because, and I guess we might as well just jump into it.
Amy, I'll tell you what, I will give you $5 if you read it word for word.
If we were cable news,
yeah, we would.
You could. Jake Tapper did read the tweet, and we're speaking about the president's tweet, which I don't know if. Listen, he is the president of the United States, and so it does matter deeply. But it was rather shocking to wake up to a tweet from the president of the United States on Easter that involved a lot of vulgarities and talking about blowing up other countries. And yeah, I mean, do you want to just go ahead and start it?
Tuesday, this is from Truth Social, and this was yesterday morning, the morning of Easter. He says, Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the blanking strait, although he didn't say blanking, he said the word. You open the blanking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. I mean, I think, dude, okay. Remember how we have said that if it wasn't actually kind of serious sometimes, it'd be really funny?
Well, yes, because South Park, which satirizes, the news and current events, can't satirize this. They said it's been the hardest year for them, a few years for them, because it's so insane. What South Park does is it takes, obviously, speeches, people, events, and it can kind of make a caricature of that person's personality. But then instead of stopping at the caricature, then they push it past a line of vulgarity and offensiveness and ridiculousness that you would say, this is just so over the top. That's what this tweet is, straight from the president himself. You can't satirize this.
No,
it doesn't get more over the top than this.
And I'm sorry that I'm laughing at it, because it is ridiculous. And I want to be able to say, well, it's not that big of a deal. And I guess I mean, in the grand scheme of things, is it a big deal? is the way he speaks on that platform a big deal? You could say, well, not really, because it's just words that he throws out into the ether and it doesn't matter. But I would think that adversaries take it seriously. Yeah, I would think that allies even take it seriously, which does make things a little more difficult for us to navigate.
And I know people want to say, oh, it's just how he talks, or you can't take him seriously. Here's the thing. The words are a big deal because he's the president of the United States. And when you are the president of the United States, one of the, privileges of anonymity that you lose is the ability to say whatever you want, whenever you want, and just be obscene or absurd. And you have to know when you're the president, your words matter. And so there's that. Also, he's threatening to bomb a country that we're actually at war with right now. And this is kind of how he does diplomacy. We've talked about back channel diplomacy before. That's always kind of gone on. You talk about Henry Kissinger and back in those days and all these conversations that happen. This is the opposite of back channel diplomacy. This is social media diplomacy. And there's nothing quite diplomatic about it, but I think you do take the word seriously, and our adversaries do as well.
Well, the thing that I believe most people here care about, and this affects everybody, it affects all of us in St. Louis, it affects everybody around the country, and that is the longer this whole operation drags on, or the worse it gets, the more entrenched we become in it, Americans are very likely going to die because we will probably have to send people overseas to fight. We'll probably have to do ground troops at some point if this continues. For us at home, prices will continue to rise. Things will continue to get more expensive. We have seen, and we try to impart this lesson to people as often as we can, that a president typically doesn't have a whole lot to do with what the price of gas is because it's a global market. They can't control a global market. But one thing you can do is start a conflict with a country that has a bunch of it and also has the ability to shut down a strait, which all of these products pass through. In a normal time, Iran wouldn't be shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. This is a completely different thing because this conflict has been started. So it is unique in that way.
And it wasn't like Iran, quote unquote, owned or controlled the strait beforehand. Right. They've made themselves the toll keeper.
That's correct.
This is their leverage, and this is a new point of leverage. They never owned the strait or controlled the strait, but they are now the toll keeper. And listen, like I've said before, and Jonah Goldberg actually said this on CNN, and he said it, well, it's not that the Trump administration didn't give a reason for, the problem is not the Trump administration didn't give a reason for attacking Iran. The problem is they gave every possible reason for attacking Iran, which really gives the impression that they don't quite know why they did it.
Plan, yeah.
Now, as time has gone by, and you've heard Marco Rubio talk and all of this, and I've said this before, going into it, you absolutely could have made a very strong argument for going after Iran now, because even with the nuclear system disabled to the point, I know Trump said it was obliterated, and they said, well, then why did you have to go after them? Well, this time around was going after their missile system, which actually is a really big deal because Iran had a developed and advanced and proliferating missile system. And if your missile system gets to a point that it is so effective, then it effectively protects a growing nuclear program. Again, you could make that argument. It wasn't made in time to win the American public over. And past presidents, whether you liked Bush or not, they did take time to win the American public over to make sure that they had congressional approval of their wars. And that does matter as things drag out. And so, again, what's so frustrating is you can make the argument for Iran, but you have to separate that from the tweet that we just saw. And the tweet that I saw is 100%, in my mind, 25th Amendment material. He's insane.
Well, I mean, nothing's going to happen there.
I know nothing's going to happen. You don't have the cabinet. You don't have the appetite for it in those offices that would be necessary. But I have no problem saying that I firmly believe that the president has repeatedly shown himself to be Mentally unstable, off his rocker, whatever you want to call it, more so in this past year than in Trump 1.0. It's different in Trump 2.0.
It's not good. And I think people here are going to start to suffer a bit one way or another. And I mean, in terms of cost of living for people, for all of us, it has gotten increasingly worse. And I imagine that's not going to stop anytime soon. I'm just talking about gas prices. The gas station nearest my place, my home, it is up about $1 now from what it was 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago. That's a considerable jump. $1 in like a month. That's crazy. And I don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
I will say, regarding the war, if we're kind of on this, there was the rescue mission of the downed pilot in Iran. And for all of the bumbling that we see on the surface, on the appearance of the Trump administration, I mean, I think it works down deep into the Trump administration, but just even the public-facing aspect of the administration seems to be bumbling and confusing. We have, on the other side of things, we do have military excellence. And if you read some of the released details of this rescue, obviously not many details, but involved SEAL Team 6. They were able to get down, and the pilot climbed to like a 7,000-foot elevation ridge line, and then he hid in a crevice so that the Iranians couldn't pick up his own geolocator, but then the U.S. military could, and they did rescue him. So I'm glad, or I don't even know if it's a girl or a guy, but they rescued this soldier.
Well, the military knows what it is doing.
Yes, and I just wanted to point that out, that there is military excellence, right? That's what I mean, for all of the bumbling of the Trump administration. So I wanted to say that this rescue, when you read about that type of stuff, because I'm a layman, I picture Top Gun or like Top Gun Maverick, where I'm like, this is so impressive. So we do have military excellence in that aspect.
Having to clean up the president's mess, which is basically what happened. They had to go rescue a pilot who wouldn't have been there nor otherwise, right? Amy Marks, Kors, Chris Ranji, we've got a big day for you. Hey, remember the Afro Man thing? Afro Man, the musician who was being sued by a local police department because they served a search warrant at his house and they broke a bunch of stuff and stole a bunch of money. And he made a song about it using video from his security cam. Well, they sued him for that. And he's won that case. We're going to talk to an individual rights and freedom of speech attorney about that later on in the show. That'll be at 10 o'clock. Bob Corn Revere joins us. Matt Pauley will talk sports at 10:30. We hope that you have a great Monday with us here on KMOX.
Join the Missouri Department of Transportation for the Work Zone Awareness 5K on Saturday, April 25th. Lace up your running shoes and help spread an important message. Slow down and stay alert in work zones. Every mile supports raising awareness to keep highway workers and drivers safe across Missouri. Bring your friends, bring the family, and be a part of a community that's running for safety. Register today and learn more at modot.org. And we'll see you at the starting line for the Work Zone Awareness 5K, April 25th. Drive smart, slow down, save lives.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Step into a world of mystery and beauty with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in From Mozart to Wagner, Mysticism and Wonder. Conductor Hannu Lintu leads a luminous weekend from Wagner's shimmering Lohengrin Prelude to the grandeur of Respighi's Church Windows. Pianist Jan Lisiecki makes his SLSO debut to perform one of Mozart's spellbinding piano concertos April 18th and 19th at Powell Hall. Tickets at slso.org.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week. New segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow the Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back. We're better. Let's get it.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
2026, I've been hearing from customers and friends that their utility bills went up quite a bit for their electric bill. That being said, and you're looking at buying a new air conditioner, or you're thinking, hey, I guess let's just get an air conditioner so it helps with the electric bills. If you have an old system, it definitely can help you. But watch your thinking. Just because you are told this is a so-called high-efficient air conditioner, it's not going to save you nowhere near what you think it's going to save you. Just replacing your old equipment is the biggest thing, and make your house efficient. An air conditioner is not going to make your house efficient. That being said, it's a great time to purchase an air conditioner if you get the correct one. Don't overspend. Don't believe the hype. In other words, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Call me, Bart Inman, at 314, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, the easiest of numbers, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. God bless.
Is your financial advisor working more for your retirement or for his? Find out the real story behind the financial industry with Greg Ayler. Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Michael's Baths. Were you feeling a little embarrassed when the family came to visit for the holidays and all you could think about was your bathroom not quite being up to par? Now is the perfect time to plan ahead for a spring installation of a beautiful new bathroom. At Michael's Baths, we specialize in beautiful, safe bathroom remodels, from tub to shower conversions to full renovations, including paint and electrical work. Call 636-775-0800 or go to michaelsbaths.com. Mike is a great guy, does great work. That's michaelsbaths.com.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
The national championship game in college basketball on the men's side is tonight. And it is UConn versus Michigan, but that's not the big battle. It is not.
It is not the one that matters.
It is not the one that matters.
The one that matters is in your heart. And on Twitter.
And in your liver.
That's right.
We are looking for the best bar in the St. Louis area, and we are down to our final two. We are down to the championship game, Amy, because we just completed the Frosty Four over the weekend.
Unbelievable.
I'm really not surprised by the results.
So wait. Are you going to give the results and then talk about how we got here? Because we had some pretty interesting developments over the weekend.
We did. Okay. So, yes, I will tell you this.
Okay.
Our championship game will be the number 1 seed McGurks facing the number 1 seed OB Clarks.
Wow.
Yeah. So McGurks and Soulard will take on the hockey bar OB Clarks for the title of the best bar in the St. Louis area, as voted by you, the listener, and the viewer, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. So, yeah, this is how we got here, Amy. McGurks defeated Helen Fitzgerald's in the Inebriate to make it to the Frosty Four to take on Humphreys, who defeated Milo's So with the victory, McGurk's over Humphreys. They now face O.B. Clark's, who defeated Broadway Oyster Bar and then Amsterdam Tavern over the weekend.
Wow.
So that was the big one. We had the hockey bar versus the soccer bar. And that was a huge matchup in Amy.
Yep.
We were stunned to find out.
This was on Saturday.
Saturday that one of our hometown teams, the St. Louis Blues, weighed in. They weighed in.
Hockey fans, you know what? I know Cardinal Nation may be bigger technically, but hockey fans are intense and they are loyal. And the St. Louis Blues came up big in our March Madness tournament.
Well, I think they probably tampered a bit.
That's what you said. Listen,
it's
we
tampering.
are trying to get people involved in our tournament, and you start accusing them of tampering.
Well, the Blues tampered.
Well, you know what? City SC had a chance to tamper, and guess what they didn't do?
They did not tamper.
They didn't tamper.
We gave them an opportunity to tamper, and they chose not to. So the Blues retweeted our poll.
Yes, they did.
And they said, we're not biased, but we voted for the hockey bar. And that was on Saturday. So good on them, because they showed up. And, we need to have a talk we're going to have a talk with Jen Cease this week. We'll be like, Jen, what's going on?
Why did City SC, who's running the digital?
I don't know.
Who is the digital team at City SC? Because the Blues digital team, they were on it. They saw March Madness. They saw O.B. Clark's was in the Frosty Four. And not only did they vote, but they let us know who they voted for and why.
Well, I'll tell you what. You're supposed to leave it all out on the pitch, and they didn't even make a pitch. It's real disappointing. So O.B. Clark's did win with 53% of the vote. So it really wasn't a dominant performance. I mean, Amsterdam Tavern did have an opportunity to win this. 47% of the vote for Amsterdam, but O.B. Clark's is the winner. McGurk's had a little bit of a more dominant performance with 61% of the vote, beating Humphreys, the bar at SLU. And just like the men's basketball team, the Billikens basketball team, Humphreys had a nice year. Had they a really nice run in this tournament.
They did.
They just came up short against
McGurk. I think really bolstered by the Josh Schertz pouring drinks moment.
Yeah.
Really elevated the visibility and legend of Humphreys.
Hell of a run for a 5 seed. I mean, so look at what they did. They beat Bobby's Place. They beat Jack Nolan's.
Wow.
They beat Fast Eddie's. And they beat Milo's. That's a hell of a run by Humphreys.
I was actually also thinking this. The committee did a pretty darn good job seeding these teams because 3 of the 4 1 seeds
were in the Frosty Four.
Four. What was the one? Where's the one seed?
It was Humphrey.
The
1 seed that lost was Fast Eddie's. They lost to Humphreys.
Yeah. So again, 3 of the 4 1 seeds made it to the Frosty Four. Okay, these are not the types of texts we want at 314-436-7900. Asking again what happened to Hooters. We told you what happened to Hooters.
Hooters lost in the play-in round.
That's right.
They lost in the, what do we call them?
Thirst Four.
The Thirst Four. Yeah. That's right.
And we told you so many times that if you are going to crab and complain, you have no right to do so unless you vote.
That's right. And they lost to
Sasha's
Wine Bar.
On Demund. Yeah.
That's right.
But it was Hooters South County.
So, I mean, let's congratulate all of our regional champions. Eberhard Anheuser region goes to McGurk's. McGurk's along the way defeated Trainwreck, Nick's Pub, Seamus McDaniels, Helen Fitzgerald's, and Humphreys. We told you what Humphreys did by winning the Adolphus Busch region. In the William J. Lemp region, Amsterdam Tavern, they beat the Post in Maplewood. They defeated Molly's in Soulard, Venice Cafe in Benton Park. They then defeated Tam Ave, and now here they are after beating. No, they lost to O.B. Clark. Sorry, O.B. Clark's then in the Anton Griesedick region. They won that region by defeating Sasha's, Golden Hoosier, Village Bar, Broadway Oyster Bar, but they lose in the Frosty Four.
Wow. I can't believe we're here.
Yeah,
so how long? So you have to go to @ChrisAmyKMOX to vote. @ChrisAmyKMOX to vote. How long do we have to vote, Matthew?
So we are going to have results Wednesday morning.
So through Wednesday before the show starts, basically Tuesday night. But yes, right before the show starts, if you wake up at 5 a.m. on Wednesday, you have a chance to vote still.
Yeah, this is exciting
once
stuff.
The show starts, it's over. It's donezo.
National, the St. Louis Championship is happening here. O.B. Clark's versus McGurk's for the best bar in St. Louis. Good luck to both competitors. We will have results on Wednesday morning. This has been a fun tournament. The Barch Madness tournament has been a lot of fun. This is one of our, we've had no real controversies, have we? There's always something, but we didn't have one this year.
I know. I mean, we had the usual grumblers and complainers.
Yeah, well, there's always that. You cannot make everybody happy.
No scandal. Nice work.
Yeah. Good job by us in the Barch Madness tournament. Well, St. Louis had an exciting weekend. And it feels like it really started with the whole Mets I'm going to blame the New York Mets broadcast team for crapping on the city of St. Louis.
So my position on the Mets evolved.
It did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear what Amy has to say. We'll tell you what happened over the weekend here. Just a lot going on in St. Louis, and most of it not good. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. You know, there are real things to talk about amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
55 degrees and sunny. Wow, really beautiful out there, the blue skies. A high today of 65. Get out there and enjoy it. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 42.
Brought to you by Staples.
Staples has hundreds of great ways to boost your brand, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through April 18th and save up to $125 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Laderman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. changed. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at LedermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Spring into green with Seidenstricker Nobe Partners. For a limited time, we have 0% financing for 84 months on John Deere 1, 2, and 3E Series compact tractor packages with prices as low as $225 a month. Plus, we'll deliver it for free. Visit ascenpartners.com or one of our Missouri and Illinois John Deere locations. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 4/30/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Get to a quick texture here, Ron. We were talking about military excellence and how it was an incredible rescue that the U.S. military pulled off and involved SEAL Team 6 for the downed aviators whose fighter jet was shot down by Iran and they were behind enemy lines. We had a texter say, it's not a downed pilot, it's a weapons systems officer. It's not a soldier, it's an airman. So thank you for the distinction. But the first aviator was the pilot, and then the second one, I guess, was the second service member, was the weapons.
We appreciate
operator.
The important clarification.
Well, we have a bunch of know-it-alls.
Well, actually, it's a weapons
this
systems.
One I went ahead and went with because it is the military.
We rescued somebody, okay? we rescued somebody in the service.
But oh my goodness, we need to have a
Just
banner
relax.
of our know-it-all tweets. But that one, I
excuse me. Actually, I think
actually,
it's not really a downed pilot.
Well, as you mentioned, Ranj, it was a busy weekend in St. Louis for all of the wrong reasons. Now, let's backtrack a bit to the Mets broadcasters and how I feel like I'd like to give you credit for breaking the story in the St. Louis airwaves, because Awful Announcing had posted the Mets broadcasters last week bashing St. Louis. Looked like there was a neutron bomb that had gone off in the city streets and all the people disappeared.
And they had posted it like 20 minutes after our show started.
Yeah. And so I like to think that you broke that news at the St. Louis market.
Yeah,
but
me too.
It caught fire, and obviously everyone's been talking about it. And I was upset because I say upset. I wasn't upset. It was hurtful, first of all, because it was true. And second of all, because I didn't feel like they needed to punch down to say it. We know it's true, right? So those two things I still stand by. Glover had a really good analogy. He said, it's like if he was fat, he knows he's fat. He doesn't need the Mets broadcasters telling him he's fat. Like, I know I'm fat. Like, you don't need to tell me. Like, if you go up to someone and say that, that's just rude. So my goodness, I think Barstool picked up Annie Fry's comments.
Oh, yeah, they roasted Annie Fry.
They did go after Annie Fry. They're like, get over yourselves. People bash cities all the time. But I did agree that I was defensive of the city in the same way that I'm defensive of a sibling. If someone makes fun, you can make fun of your sibling, but if someone else does, right, you're going to go to bat for your sibling. But I also realized, I think my initial response was defensive because what's the most hurtful kind of bullying? When there's an element of truth to it.
Right.
When someone says something mean to you, but it's true, it's the most hurtful thing. That's what hurts the most. And I think that's why my initial response was being defensive. So over the weekend, my position evolved. I still agree that A, it's true, and B, they didn't need to say it, but it evolved in the sense that 3, I'm glad they said it. I think sometimes you do need a kick in the pants where you're thinking, we talk about it on our airwaves all the time, And city leaders talk about it. But then we also, we always like stand up and say, yeah, but the zoo is free. And here's the thing. St. Louis is a great place to live, but the downtown is struggling. And everybody knows it. And look how people are looking at us. Out of our own pride for our city, doesn't hearing other people poo-poo your downtown make you feel like it lights a fire a little bit? Like, you know what? We have accepted this for too long. And someone did text in like last week. It's like, hey, there's plenty of stuff to do. You can go to the arch, you can go to the aquarium. No, you can't. I'm not going to the aquarium every day. That's not what 25-year-olds do every day, or after every baseball game, you're going to go to the aquarium or go to the arch. You need restaurants and stores and coffee shops, and you need patios, and you need people sitting on the streets and little cafe tables talking. I know Bill McClellan wrote about this, and he goes, we need smoke breaks again. We need people standing on the streets having smoke breaks just to get more people on the street. So does it feel like, I'm glad they said it? I feel that way.
I'm glad they said it only if it does lead to a real reckoning or an acknowledgement that something has to be done. And when I say that, it sounds like I'm saying that we don't already know that. I think that people do, but maybe it just helps.
Yeah.
That somebody from the outside so publicly says it, because I was trying to think of all the other comparable cities to St. Louis and all the ones that I've been to, like what they're like, and just recently drove through Cincinnati. Actually spent the night in Cincinnati. And Cincinnati it's pretty comparable to St. Louis. It did feel like there was it was a little more lively, even though there wasn't a major sporting event going on.
Much. It would only take a few coffee shops and a few more restaurants.
Yeah, I mean the baseball season hadn't even started yet, so it wasn't like there was this event going on. All these people were there for the event. It was just there were people out. It wasn't a ton, but it was more.
Yeah.
And I know Nashville is way better in terms of getting people to come and visit and do things. A lot of people think Indianapolis is great. I think it's fine. Kansas City, everybody says, is great. I haven't been there in 20 years, but I can't imagine it is way better than us. But a lot of people think it is. I mean, they have their own crime problems too. It's just, I hope that it somehow leads to, and I think this is a very optimistic viewpoint of it, but I hope that it somehow leads to the right people and enough of the right people saying, okay, we got to do something and let's do something substantive and not just lip service stuff. Because I will tell you, when the Mets broadcasters, and by the way, one of them was Todd Zeile. So this is a guy who played baseball for the Cardinals. He has lived in St. Louis before, so he knows it. The other guy was Gary Cohen. And to have somebody from the outside, and one of those guys have intimate knowledge of St. Louis at one time in his life, is important. And I always say this, when we get defensive about our city or our region, when other people attack us or criticize us, you hear it a lot of, hey, who are they to tell us that we're no good or that we have these problems? That's none of your business. And I always say, you know what? You should care what other people think. You should care what New Yorkers think. You should care what Chicagoans and people from Indiana, you should care what everybody thinks about this region, because it does hold us back as a region.
And we should care what local St. Louisans think too, because I woke up this morning thinking about the Mets. I turned on TIAM and I'm thinking, wonder what happened in the city of St. Louis this weekend.
The violence started Friday afternoon. A 15-year-old shot at South Grand and Park. Police say the armed teen allegedly pointed and fired a gun at an adult man at a gas station. That adult returned fire, injuring the teen. Friday evening around 6, a gunfight in Soulard between several people, leaving a 21-year-old dead and 26 and 29-year-old man injured. It happened at a gas station also at 7th and Russell. Friday night, a fight in another gas station in the 4100 block of West Florissant. A 31-year-old, Philip Campbell, died at the scene. Then another shooting victim was dropped off at a hospital from that same incident. A 26-year-old man has been detained. Friday night at 10 o'clock, a 31-year-old shot and critically injured in the 5500 block of South Grand. A 31-year-old man died at the hospital after being shot at a gas station in the 4300 block of South Broadway Saturday morning before 1. Around 2:30 Saturday morning in downtown West at 19th and Locust, a 30-year-old man was shot on the parking lot of the Marquee nightclub when shots were fired from 19th and St. Charles. He's in critical but stable condition. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
So it was a bad weekend, and in fact, it was a 12-hour window. 3 people killed and 6 people injured in 12 hours across different parts of the city. I think, the one, you think of like Soulard. I mean,
I walked past it. I saw it.
You were right there. You're the one, actually, you called it into the newsroom. I called
into the newsroom like, hey, there's something going on at Broadway or Russell and 7th.
Yeah.
I for some reason, I decided to get coffee at 5 p.m. on Saturday, and I walked, and there was nothing going on. I was at the coffee shop for a little bit. I left the coffee shop maybe 20, 30 minutes later, and just at least a dozen squad cars out there. So it had just happened. And my reaction was, something going on down there. Called it into the newsroom. They checked it out, and then I just went back home. It didn't. It's like it doesn't. I don't feel like a lot of things in my neighborhood. I don't see a lot for myself. I'm in the neighborhood. I live there. I'm in the neighborhood all the time. I don't feel unsettled, unsafe, any of that. And when I see something like that, I guess I just go, all right, well, going home now. I don't know. It didn't.
And I think everybody's different because people who, live in the city, whether it is you live in Tower Grove or you live off South Grand or, some of my best friends live in Soulard. And there's the whole game. Is it gunshots or fireworks? Because which is kind of a little bit of a gallows humor joke, right? Gunshots or fireworks, because you do hear it. And so there are a lot of people who are cool with that, maybe a little bit more accustomed to city living, in the sense that in any city, you're going to see a lot. It brings in all kinds of people, and there's going to be crime. Now, in the city of St. Louis, I was a little frustrated this morning because I thought, oh my gosh, we went from having a conversation to no one being on the street, and suddenly the people on the street are shooting each other. This is not good. And so, a little tongue in cheek there, where I felt sad because it is tragic to have so much gun violence, especially, gun violence with young people. And we need to figure out how to turn our city around. They're both separate issues and completely related, right? Where crime and development and people coming downtown are in some ways separate issues in the sense that you take separate approaches to them, but completely related, because crime deters people, but people deter crime at the same time. And Ron, it was frustrating, but I do hope that this past week, maybe it does light a fire. And I don't know what that means. I know I'm being optimistic, like you said, but we need to stop being so political, because there was that story about the Kings Highway buildings that had sat vacant for years and years and years. And they finally knocked them down, and one developer was going to develop them and then decided not to.
Right there south of the highway of the hospital.
Yeah. And finally, it was going to be $120 million apartment complex, finally, to get something fresh and new there.
Yeah.
And it's been abandoned, and there could be a variety of reasons. I know that the company said that some parts of the market have changed, but an alderman also pointed out that the process for getting permits is opaque and political in the city of St. Louis. We make it hard for developers to build.
Feel free to check in. Kurt is joining us from St. Louis. What's up, Kurt?
Hey, how you guys doing this morning? Sounds like it's a little upsetting, the news. Of course it is. So like when you went to Cincinnati, did you stay downtown in the business district, or I was just wondering about that?
No, not in the business district. Yeah, I think most people probably don't. And I wasn't there long enough to really get a feel for the city. It was just, it was my brief experience being there.
Right. And that's the thing with these visitors. And they come in, and I've, come in downtown, and they visit for a day or two for maybe a cheerleading contest downtown or this or that. And the thing is, if they don't get affected by a crime, they think that they're going to think that it's okay Well, I mean, not that it isn't okay,
Right.
but they're not going to have a bad experience going to St. Louis. The ones that get their cars broken into, or, they might, be a victim of something else, then they're going to think differently. So it's people, like you said, people that don't stay here, they don't realize what's going on.
Kurt, that's a great point. Because Kurt basically saying that if just because someone can visit here and isn't a victim of a crime, it doesn't mean that crime doesn't exist here.
Right.
That's a great point, Kurt. Also, I don't know if this was your point, but asking where Ron stayed is also important, because I know we just talked about the shooting in Soulard, but you don't see that all the time. And if you are someone who stays at an Airbnb in Soulard and stays in that neighborhood, it's going to be a very different experience than if you stay downtown.
Well,
because Soulard has restaurants and coffee shops, but downtown, and the whole city is not downtown.
Exact same idea as the city of Chicago downtown is a thriving city, as much as it has its own issues. But if you stay in a hotel in like the financial or parts of the theater district, it feels like there's nothing going on.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like it's bustling everywhere. Yeah. It's just most of the city. It really depends on what part you're putting yourself in. Did you see this? Is coming up next on the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th. And you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Experience the power and passion of Mahler's Fifth Symphony with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Music director Stefan Denev leads this monumental work, paired with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra's first performances of Carlos Simon's Double Concerto Suite, featuring Grammy-winning violinist Hilary Hahn and cellist Seth Parker Woods. April 10th, 11th, and 12th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large while supplies last. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight tonight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
Curative, that's a complex decision that involves what we call multidisciplinary care. So that involves a surgeon, a medical oncologist, radiation oncologist. So you need the expertise, and that's something that we have here at Siteman, especially geared for these esophageal cancer patients.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Visit siteman.washu.edu.
Spring cleaning rule number 1, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenagers gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
I don't know why this story interests me, because I never watched Malcolm in the Middle. But Malcolm in the Middle has a reboot that is going to air on Hulu and Disney Plus. It debuts this week. And Frankie Muniz and Bryan Cranston are reprising their roles in the show. But Malcolm's little brother, Dewey, played by Eric Per Sullivan, refused to come back. So like the little boy who's now grown up, but he's not coming back. And the producer,
what's his problem?
Well, this is what's so interesting. The producer said they threw, quote, buckets of money at him, but, quote, he's studying Dickens and is an incredible student. And he just said, no, thank you. So he is a literature major. He's studying, or major, I don't know that. He's studying literature, and he's a student. He has quit acting, and he doesn't want to go back. He just wants to study. And they said even though they threw buckets of money at him, he's over that life.
Okay.
But I kind of respect it, because if you're a child actor, maybe you get very disillusioned, or you see, when you were a child. He's an adult now, but I mean, as a child, maybe he got a bad taste in his mouth and said, I don't want that world. It's kind of interesting, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think you just do it for a little bit.
Like Bryan Cranston's going back.
Yeah, if you can get him back there, why wouldn't you want to be part? I don't know.
But it kind of interests me that he wants no part of it. He's done. He's done with acting.
I know this is from last week, but I can't stop thinking about this FEMA official. Do you know about the FEMA official?
I do.
Who says that he teleported 50 miles to a Waffle House in Georgia?
I can see why you can't stop thinking about him.
His name is Greg Phillips. He says that he was in charge of responding to fires and floods, and he says the hand of God suddenly and mysteriously moved him to a 24-hour Waffle House. And I can't stop thinking about this guy. And one of the best things to come of it is the New York Times did reporting on it a couple of days ago. And their headline is, no one at Waffle House remembers FEMA official who says he teleported in. What? You mean nobody at the Waffle House remembered a guy who just appeared?
Yeah. Which is
out of
funny
nowhere?
Because one of the workers said she remembers being punched in the face by a customer, watching someone overdose in the bathroom, and having a man take all the steak knives and threaten the staff with them. That she remembers.
Well, yes, of course.
But you would think that teleporting would be memorable.
Maybe not. When you have a chair being thrown in your direction, you probably don't see the guy.
She said, I've seen it all, but I haven't seen that.
I do love a good Waffle House fight, though.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. I don't want to be in them. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Wow.
Everything's going great. Chris and Amy on KMOX. We've got hour 2 coming up in the Afro Man trial case, which was dismissed recently after he took home security camera footage of his own house with police coming in and doing a raid. And he made a video out of it. They sued him. He won, but it brings up an interesting freedom of speech in music question. We'll talk to Bob Korn-Revere, Chief Counsel for the Foundation of Individual Rights and Expression, next on KMOX.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact-check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
Meta Platforms is rolling out a batch of updates for its smart glasses, including a new line of Ray-Ban Meta glasses that will allow users to add most prescription lenses to the glasses, which start at $499. Meta Ray-Ban display glasses will get new features, including scrolling Instagram Reels, Spotify shortcuts, and the ability to record both the display and a user's point of view video at the same time. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It is 10 o'clock, and right now we've got sunshine and 54 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Tomorrow's municipal elections in Kirkwood include 4 candidates running for city council at a time when the city's financial health is in question. Sales taxes are down, costs are up, and the city is using millions to cover the deficit from the city-owned electric utility going over budget. The Kirkwood-owned water system will need tens of millions of dollars in repairs. The city is currently looking at a $7 million budget hole. In the running are current Kirkwood Councilman Al Reiniger, government relations attorney Justin Arnold, and former state representative Deb Lavender, along with business owner Sheila Burkett. The Spirit of St. Louis Airport will require extensive repairs and replacement of runway and taxiway pavement, as well as other infrastructure, according to the airport's aviation director. County Executive Sam Page is asking the county council to authorize a 5-year agreement with a Springfield, Illinois company for architectural and engineering services. St. Louis County owns Spirit of St. Louis Airport in Chesterfield. The Artemis II mission is scheduled to make an historic loop around the moon today. Part of the mission is to take photos during the flyby. Here's NASA astronaut Randy Bresnik.
We've got a zoom lens on so they can actually, focus on big and small things. When they take pictures, they'll want to stabilize themselves. And a lot of times because you're floating in space, you kind of put your hand on the window and then use that to stabilize the camera when you're taking pictures.
A solar-powered reactor could help tackle the world's plastic waste problem while producing clean energy at the same time.
Kay Kwatang at the University of Cambridge says they used acid recovered from old car batteries to break down hard-to-recycle plastics.
Once you break the plastics down into soluble
fragments. We can then use a photocatalyst. So this gets active when light shines on it. So we oxidize the plastic waste and then we can make hydrogen from it.
He says because only 18% of the world's plastic is currently recycled,
this can actually be used for places that plastic waste is usually dumped, West Africa or third world countries.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
The U.S. Supreme Court has thrown out a lower court's ruling that upheld Steve Bannon's conviction for defying a subpoena from the House committee investigating the January 6th riots at the Capitol building. That frees a trial judge to act on the Trump administration's bid to dismiss Bannon's conviction and indictment, quote, in the interests of justice. From the KMOX Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Not as cool this afternoon. We'll have intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 64. Mostly cloudy with a low of 40 tonight. There could be a late night shower. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now it's sunny and 54 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Liu. Yes, Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Sponsored by Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice.
It is the Chris and Amy show on 104.1 FM KMOX, and it is time to go to the guest line this morning. And as you may have been following along, musician Afroman, about 3 years ago, his home was raided, and he used some of the security footage from his own house to make a music video, sort of mocking the officers who came through. Well, some of those officers sued him, and he just won that lawsuit recently. You may have been following along with that story. So it brings up the question of what your rights are as a musician when it comes to freedom of expression. And joining us to discuss that is Bob Korn Revere, the chief counsel for the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. Bob joins us now on KMOX. Good to have you with us today. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Good to be with you.
Well, it's good to have you. And this was a really, I remember seeing that music video when he made it a couple of years ago, and I thought it was funny. He was mocking one of the officers for almost taking cake off the counter, and and they had apparently stolen money from him, and then they got mad because he used that footage from his own home. What did you think about that when you heard about the lawsuit?
Well, the lawsuit was ridiculous, and it was obvious that the videos hit their mark in that they ridiculed what had happened in the home, showed video of it happening, and I agree with you. I thought it was very funny, but the officers didn't agree and apparently have no sense of humor.
Well, and again, so Afroman was actually performing at a concert in Chicago when this raid happened. And the police, after raiding his house, kicking down the door, rummaging through the pockets of his suits, all of those things, left an estimated $20,000 worth of damage in their wake. They found nothing incriminating, and no charges were pursued against Afroman. So
that's correct.
How much of Afroman's ability to make a music video using this video and kind of mocking the police officers was contingent on the raid being faulty and him having nothing charged against him?
Well, even if he had been charged, this is a suit that they brought against him because of his performance, because of his speech. And so it didn't really go to the question of whether or not Afroman had committed a crime. This was really the officers claiming that they had been damaged by his public commentary on their actions. And that's where the First Amendment comes in. Now, this was a jury verdict, simply denying the officers' claims. But these are the kinds of civil actions where the defendant, in this case Afroman, had a strong constitutional defense. But this is really an instance of the jury seeing the charges being, the claims being presented and saying, no, this doesn't make any sense.
So what is a person's legal right when it comes to video they record with a security camera that is in their home if that person comes into their home willfully, is invited, not invited? How does that work with what a homeowner can do with that video?
Well, in their home, the homeowner can do pretty much what they want with it. I mean, most of the cases that come up in public, where you'll have people taking video of officers performing their jobs in public. And the courts have developed over the past 15 years a rich body of law saying that you have a constitutional right to do that. So it's really unusual to have a video taken inside the person's home where the police are the ones who are invading the home. And there, I think the First Amendment protections for the homeowner are even stronger.
And that doesn't change if police have a warrant to come into your home?
No, this doesn't go to the legality of the raid or whether or not the police were lawfully executing a warrant. This is a question of the use of the video after the fact. And because Afroman was providing public commentary and pretty effective ridicule of what the officers were doing.
Now, some of the ridicule had to do with what they were doing, like the one police officer who looked like he really wanted to take a piece of the pound cake. But
didn't he?
And I think one of the songs is Lemon Pound Cake.
Yeah, it's about
that
the pound
Afroman
cake.
wrote. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but another. Some of the other insults in the songs have to do with like the police officers' sexuality, or whether a police officer, if they were having affairs, or got kind of got sexual with that.
That's right.
If the police officers aren't famous, because I know if someone's in the public eye, there's some different rules. How is that not somehow violating their privacy in that sense?
Well, it's hard to argue your privacy is invaded when you're in somebody else's home. And so the privacy claim was very weak to begin with. But also keep in mind that the fact that they are police officers makes them public officials for purposes of defamation law. And this was a claim for defamation, for false light invasion of privacy, and for a violation of the right to publicity. All of which the First Amendment limits how people can bring cases like that. And so, as I say, the claims on their own merit were weak, and also in areas in which people have a strong First Amendment defense. The current modern law of defamation that was established in 1964 was based on claims that people were mischaracterizing what police were doing during the civil rights era. And so those strong First Amendment protections are really based on situations like this.
Bob Korn-Revere, Chief Counsel for the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, with us on KMOX. My understanding in this trial is that when the jury came to their verdict, that the judge in the case was sort of admonished them for it. Is that accurate?
I can't really speak to that.
Okay, but I mean, if that is the case, is that unusual for a judge to do something like that?
Well, judges will sometimes provide comments at the end of a trial, and usually it's to thank the jury for their service. But that it is not unusual for a judge to provide some kind of comment.
Well, I will say, if people haven't seen some of the court pictures, Afroman showed up at court with a spectacular American flag suit and tie.
Yes, he did.
He's an interesting fellow.
Yes.
I'm a big fan.
He's an interesting fellow, which I guess it almost felt like he was paying homage to the First Amendment, by wearing that American flag suit and tie. But can you maybe lay the foundation if someone may not understand the significance of this case, and how if it had gone the other way, might have been a dangerous precedent moving forward?
Well, again, had it gone the other way, it would have been a jury verdict that would have been subject to appeal. And in any appeal, I suspect that the First Amendment would have played a major role. I think to a certain extent, the major takeaway from this case isn't so much on the specific legal issues, but really on the practical effects of bringing such a stupid lawsuit. Because now many more people have seen this video than ever had before. It's something called the Streisand effect, which from about 24 years ago, Barbara Streisand tried to prevent publications that showed her home. And because of her suit, many more people downloaded those images. It is an example of a lawsuit having the opposite of an effect of what people really intend. It makes something more famous and makes the ridicule of the police officers in this case much more powerful.
You know, since you are the chief counsel for the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, and you guys do incredible work protecting the First Amendment rights of people across the country of all different beliefs and ideologies, the phrase cancel culture that we've heard pop up so much, does that exist? And to you, what does cancel culture mean?
Well, cancel culture certainly exists, and it is more of a cultural issue than a legal issue. That is the tendency of people to look for ways to silence people that they disagree with or they find their views to be upsetting or abhorrent. And so they look for ways to either get them off social media, sometimes get them fired, any kind of consequence where it's sort of a mob action where you're trying to make sure people can't speak. What we try to do at FIRE, at the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, and thank you for your kind words about us, is we try and promote not just the law of free speech, but also a culture of free expression where people feel free to express themselves and others try not to punish them for it or penalize them for it.
Is there I've been following along a bit what the new FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, and some of the comments he's made. He was at a CPAC convention recently and was talking about individual media companies and, mentioned things like CBS, and he thinks they're under good leadership now. And he was pleased to see, and I'm paraphrasing for him, what has happened with conservative media as opposed to liberal media. And it seems to me to be unusual for an FCC chair to do that, to seem so partisan in the way he speaks. Is that unusual, and is it a problem for broadcast companies in the country?
It's not just unusual, it is abhorrent. In a former career, part of my earlier life, I was chief counsel to the chairman of the FCC. And I can tell you, nothing like this has happened in the past where a chairman has openly embraced a partisan cause and tried to use the power of his office to restrict other views and to intimidate broadcasters. It is simply a violation of his oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And again, I recommend everybody follow the FIRE.org on Twitter, because you are keeping track of the organization that sheds light on so many big issues, like big tech verdicts, or what it means if the president is going after lawyers, as you mentioned, the FCC, college campuses. There are so many areas where people are trying to chip away at First Amendment rights, and FIRE sheds lights on those.
Well, thank you so much. And I should say that while there are many efforts right now to restrict speech, we're also seeing a really high number, maybe even a record number of judicial decisions that have affirmed the First Amendment rights. And I take that as encouragement for how we continue to keep those rights well protected and strong going into the future.
And that's great. I've always thought, and Amy and I have talked about this, that people don't really, in the first place, which may be a fundamental issue, don't really understand sometimes what the First Amendment actually is and what it protects you from. And so maybe sometimes I feel like we should start there. What does the First Amendment actually do?
Well, the First Amendment, very short amendment, it's 45 words long, but it protects 5 essential freedoms: freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, and freedom to petition the government. All of those bundle of freedoms operate together, and they are all protected in the First Amendment. And that protects everything from giving a speech or assembling to protest a government action or petitioning the government for redress of grievances. But it also protects entertainment, like Afro Man's videos and his songs. And there's a long tradition of protecting not just political speeches, but also all kinds of expression. It's very broadly applied.
Bob, we appreciate the conversation. Really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you for being with us today.
Well, thanks so much for having me.
Bob Korn-Revere, Chief Counsel for the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, with us on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey, Joy, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Take advantage of our Mother's Day sale, which starts now. It's our best deal of the year. Save up to 60% off. Visit legacybox.com/radio and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/radio for 60% off. Legacybox.com/radio.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Spring cleaning rule number 1, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenager's gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
Now, have you been following the escapades and the videos and the messages from the Artemis II crew?
Yeah.
Are they like the most likable group of astronauts you've ever seen?
Well, it's the most we've gotten to see.
That's a good point.
Because they're filming themselves.
Yeah.
They've got, they did a lot of videos leading up to the actual launch.
Mhm.
And we were talking about one this morning before the show started that I thought it was amusing. It was the 4 astronauts in the capsule planning where they're going to sleep. And
Yes, which is
she's
not
like,
a lot
I'm
of
going to go
space.
here. Like, I think this is where I'm going to sleep right here. And then talking about carbon dioxide buildup. So she has to sleep in a certain position.
Yeah.
And she couldn't sleep this way. And he's like, well, hold on. We can't just claim your spot, right? It was very funny. And I thought it was, because I don't know, I guess you just sort of assume that everything on that has to go perfectly, right? Because lives are at stake. And you would just assume that NASA says, okay, we have measured every bit of the capsule, and because of your size, you will sleep here,
Right.
and you will sleep here. But it's like the 4 of them, and they're using seniority to decide, like, you know what, I think I'm going to go right
How
here.
did they not think of this sooner?
Right. Yeah, it was a really amusing part of it. But we've seen so much of that.
They filmed a really funny little video where it looks like a sitcom, where it plays the cheesy music and then you look and one of the astronauts waves. It looks like the opening to a sitcom.
Yeah.
And someone said that's what happens when you leave a bunch of Gen Xers, in a small space for a while. Yesterday, we were sitting on the couch and my mom and my sister and I at my parents' house were scrunched together, like shoulder to shoulder. And we're having a conversation and my sister was like, Amy, this is how the Artemis crew is right now. This is how close they are. And, because they're shoulder to shoulder, they're touching. The little capsule looks like it's the size of a coffee table. And I don't know, I can't imagine having a panic attack in a space like that where there is a window, but it's not a room. You're surrounded by wires. It looks like you're living in a VCR.
Well, the Orion capsule is significantly bigger than like the Apollo capsule. Again, there were only 3 astronauts on that one, but it's a bigger surface. It's a bigger area inside. And it's still cramped.
It's cramped. And the 6'2" guy, he's got to be cramped. But astronaut Victor Glover, I think, was asked kind of on a whim to deliver an Easter message from space. So these people are going to be farther from Earth than any humans have been before.
Can you imagine being that far from home and having bubble guts?
No, don't even.
Don't. I wouldn't be. I think that's the one reason I wouldn't be able to do it. Is that over how many days total are they going to be gone?
I don't know how the bubbles work without gravity.
Well, okay. How many days total are they going to be gone? Is it 9?
I don't know.
Can you imagine being away from your personal facility for a week and a half?
Not with the broken toilet, I can tell you
right,
that.
And it broke on day 1.
Well, at any rate, Victor Glover, I highly recommend you try to catch some of these videos that the astronauts have put out. But this was his Easter message, and it's really been gaining the rounds because with all the negativity and sadness in the world, he had a really beautiful message.
I'm glad you brought that up, though. I think these observances are important, and as we are so far from Earth and looking back at, the beauty of creation, I think for me, one of the really important personal perspectives that I have up here is I can really see Earth as one thing. And, when I read the Bible and I look at all of the amazing things that were done for us who were created, it's, you have this amazing place, this spaceship. You guys are talking to us because we're in a spaceship really far from Earth, but you're on a spaceship called Earth that was created to give us a place to live in the universe, in the cosmos. I think maybe the distance we are from you makes you think what we're doing is special, but we're the same distance from you. And I'm trying to tell you, just trust me, you are special. In all of this emptiness, this is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. You have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist together. I think as we go into Easter Sunday, thinking about, all the cultures all around the world, whether you celebrate it or not, whether you believe in God or not, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing and that we got to get through this together.
So that was astronaut Victor Glover, again, talking about what it was like to celebrate Easter or be up in space. And it was interesting when he said, yeah, we look far away from you, but you're just as far away from us.
Yeah.
Like you're on your own spaceship over there. And a really, really beautiful message. And I would imagine you can't not have a life-changing experience in some ways when you look at the Earth and you see the pale blue dot. But it's a beautiful, the pictures from the window. My words are failing me now because I don't know how I would put into words what it would be like. I would be too
That's
terrified.
what that tweet said. There are no words.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I was only looking at the picture.
I think that may have gotten into your subconscious.
That's why I couldn't find him. So, I mean, I wish I were brave enough and had the mental and gastrointestinal fortitude to be able to see the Earth. But
number one thing.
it was a beautiful message. And yes, wow, I can't imagine being up there.
I would love. I was just talking about this with some people over the weekend. If you didn't have to actually do anything, it was you're just along for the ride. They handle everything, and you're just there. Would you do it? Would you go to the moon? And most people, said, yeah, I think so. I think I would. And I'm like, I would, except I don't think I'd feel very good in this tight space with 3 other people and having to say multiple times a day, excuse me, I have to use the restroom. And then you just open a door and you're in it. And they're right outside.
No, you can't. I mean, I couldn't do it because I felt far away in Australia. It's like, this is so far away.
To use the bathroom?
No, just being far away, going that far from home.
Yeah. Think about this is what it's like, but more intimate than using the toilet on an airplane. And imagine that it's just you and the 3 people in the row right next to the toilet. And that's your whole living space. That'd be awful.
This is really upsetting you.
Yeah, it does. Because it gave me a lot of anxiety thinking about it. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. We're going to talk some sports with Matt Pauley. The national championship game is tonight. The Cardinals had a series against the Tigers. They continue on to Washington tonight. And we will talk to Matthew about all of that when we come back. And as I said, the final college basketball game is tonight. And FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost. You can build a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. You can do that, or you can try some live betting. And if you want to wait until the action is already tipped off and then jump in, you can do that too. Best of all, with FanDuel, you are going to get paid instantly if you win. FanDuel.com/Missouri right now to get started. If you haven't done it already, FanDuel.com/Missouri to claim your first profit boost and keep the action going from now till a big championship. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
This is going to be a likable team. I don't know how many games they're going to win. You're down 7-1, and at that point, they weren't deflated. They weren't demoralized. They're like, all right, good for you guys. You hit us in the mouth. You drew blood. We just tasted our own blood. Now we're going to knock you on your ass. Let's go.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
If you're getting close to retirement, or maybe you're just thinking about retirement more in general, you're probably thinking about, when can you retire? Will you have enough money to live on? You know, we all have retirement questions that, let's be honest, they're overwhelming and just can stress us out. But Steve Aul can help answer those questions so that you'll feel more confident about this next phase of your life. Check out his show, The Aul Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 and Sunday evenings at 6 here on KMOX.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It is a beautiful day today. I don't see a cloud in the sky. A high of 65 this afternoon. Right now it's 57. Tonight, cloudy. A low of 42. Weather sponsored by the Missouri Book Festival, April 18th in Washington, Missouri. Bring your family and friends out to the Missouri Book Festival on Saturday, April 18th in Washington, Missouri. You'll enjoy cooking, demos,
live theater, book talks, storytelling, and more featuring authors from Missouri and beyond. Visit MissouriBookFestival.com for details.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
April is the perfect time to reset your home for the long run, and Universal Windows Direct makes that decision easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, and there's no limit. Plus, you'll get 24 months with no payments and no interest, giving you a full 2 years to enjoy the comfort before you pay a dime, and a $500 bonus off your home improvement project. Universal Windows Direct has been great to me. They've been great to all of my listeners. They are absolutely the real deal. 314-334-2522 or universalwindowsdirect.com.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Laterman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Laterman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Laterman Law Firm at latermanlaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The pressure on data centers has never been greater. Whether you're expanding capacity, supporting AI workloads, or building new facilities, Graybar works alongside you with the solutions, specialists, and logistics expertise you need today. We help you power performance every step of the way, so your operation is ready now. Yep, Graybar does that.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
A swing and a ball is popped up short left field. So JC back there, he makes the catch for a Redbird winner. And the Cardinals salvage a game in the 3-game series. The Cardinals beat Detroit 5-3.
Go Paulie!
Paulie's a great name.
Go Paulie!
What'd you do for Paulie? Anything?
Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
My lord, the Cardinals lost their first series of the season in Detroit. They just completed their first road series. They are on to their second now. They'll play against the Nationals. That's a team that's not very good. And the Cardinals will get going. 5:45 first pitch, our time. And we'll have a pregame show at 4:50 with this man, Matt Pauley, who joins the show on 104.1 FM KMOX. What's going on, Matt?
Not much. I didn't think that. I know they lost the series, but that's a good Detroit team. They're still, if they can beat Washington 2 out of 3, they have a 500 road trip. The old equation of go 500 on the road, win your series at home. So I thought that was an important win yesterday because it set them up for them to still be able to have a somewhat successful road trip.
Yeah, and it's. I think they have, for what everybody expected of them, they've still had a pretty good start to the season. I mean, they are over 500 through 9 games, and that's good. I don't think we're talking about a 90-win team or anything like that, but a lot of people think this could be a better team than what it looks like on paper. I don't know how good I think they'll be. I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the league by any chance, but you know, as you look at them now, to have the start they did, does it, give you any sort of feeling about what you think they are as a club, or do you feel like it's still way too early?
I think it's way too early, but I think the early glimpse is they're kind of who I expected them to be, where I thought they were going to be a competitive club. And I didn't know how many wins that was going to be, and things can go terribly wrong at any moment in the season. But I hear from people all the time who think they're going to be like a 60-win team. And I wonder if those people even know what a 60-win team looks like, because this Cardinals team does not look like a team that's going to be around 100 losses. Now, starting pitching has left a lot to be desired here so far, and they need to get that put together a little bit more. Yesterday was pretty good with Kyle Leahy. It's kind of Dustin May who's the one that you're waiting on him to get going for sure. I think May's going to be fine. I just don't know how long it's going to take him to be fine. So, I mean, you can definitely go through and find some areas with this team that's startling, and that's totally fair to do that. But I think they are a competitive team that's going to be fun to watch this year. And through 9 games, I would say that's who they've been.
What do you suppose it is with Dustin May? Why is he having such difficulty? Is it just he needs a little settling in period? What do you think is going on?
Yeah, I'm not totally sure because the velocity is there and velo plays. We all know that across Major League Baseball, velocity plays. It doesn't play 100% of the time. And this is one of those times where he is still sitting there touching 97, getting close to 98, but it's not working for him. He was wondering whether or not it's pitch sequencing, whether or not he's tipping his pitches. He and Dusty Blake were going to have a conversation about all those things. If I could break down what's going wrong with him, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd probably be working in Major League Baseball, but it's not good. It's really not good here in the early going for May, and he's got to go. He's got to figure a way. He's got a 15.95 ERA through 2 starts, and obviously that's only covering 7 1/3 innings. But it's 13 runs in 7 1/3 innings, and it's just not. Hitters are hitting 486 against him. His batting average against is 486. So basically, half of the guys that are facing him are getting a base hit. And then the walk rate is that he's got 3 walks. So, I mean, more than half of the batters he's facing are getting on base.
I don't know if it was, I heard it this morning, Matt, and I'm sorry, I can't remember if it was Tom Ackerman saying this stat or perhaps it was, with a Cardinals report. But if you look at the Cardinals wins and losses, the hitting has been pretty consistent. It's not groundbreaking here, but it's just contingent on the pitching. It's not like the hitting or the scoring has gone hot or cold. It's been pretty consistent per game, and it's every single win or loss has been contingent on how the pitching has been able to hold up.
I don't know if I'd completely agree with that because, I mean, they scored a ton of runs in that first series against the Rays, and then they never scored more than 3 runs in the second series against the Mets. And then they scored none, 6 and 5.
Would it
so
be
I don't know.
compared to like game to game compared to the opponent? I need to get the exact stat because now I've messed it up. Because it was the numbers that were above my pay grade, baseball numbers.
Okay.
And
it wasn't me. I don't know what was being said. If Tom said it, it's right probably, but I don't know what was said. But no, I for the weekend, I mean, they scored 5 and 6 runs in 2 of the 3. I don't know. It's I think, look, there from a hitting standpoint, if you go below the hood, under the hood, there's actually some really good stuff. I saw the rankings of barrel rate yesterday. So if you barrel a ball, that means you really
square it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I don't have the number in front of me, but I saw the barrel rate rankings yesterday across Major League Baseball, and the Cardinals were at 8% or 8.6% or something. That may not sound great, but that's actually really good. The number 1 team in baseball was at like 10%. So I think the Cardinals were like ranked maybe 7th or 8th in all of Major League Baseball in barrel rate. I wasn't expecting that. I have a hard time believing that number is sustainable over 162 games, but that's a really good sign for this team.
Is Jordan Walker's start sustainable?
I don't know. That's another question that I wish I could answer for sure. I was just being completely honest about things. He had that really, really great start, and then he had 2 games against the Mets in the first game against Detroit, where he went 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, okay, is this the moment where he starts to fall back? And then these last 2 games against Detroit, really good. He's got 4 hits over 7 at bats over those 2 games.
Got a grand slam.
Grand slam,
Yep.
which he hit the living you-know-what out of. Plus, he threw that ball from the outfield over 100 miles per hour on the outfield assist. I believe that's the second highest velocity on an outfield assist this season in all of Major League Baseball. Yeah, I got a little nervous yesterday when they moved him to the 4 spot, because to me it's just like, let this guy be comfortable in what he's doing and don't mess around with him a little bit. I completely understood why they put him there, but I know what he can be, and I'm excited about the possibility of that. But anytime something pops up where it feels like maybe he's going to fall off, it makes me very nervous.
Yeah, I know it's very, very early, but it is nice to see him actually producing. And I mean, looking at wins above replacement, for example, I mean, he's top 25 in all of baseball right now. It's very, very early, and I recognize that. But the fact that he is offensively being pretty productive and like you mentioned, defensively too, that's a great sign. You just hope that it continues for the next several months, because as we've talked about with him, Matt, if he can turn into anything like what they thought he could be, that helps you down the road. You can figure, all right, we got right field figured out, so let's go figure out the rest of the lineup, right? It would be such a benefit to be able to have that from him.
Guys with elite bat speed and elite exit velocity do not grow on trees. It just does. We're talking, when we're talking those numbers specifically, we're talking Aaron Judge. That's what he has inside of him. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the baseball card numbers are going to be Aaron Judgian, right? And they haven't been, and that's the best player in baseball offensively, and there's no reason to say that Walker's ever going to turn into that. But you have to, if Aaron Judge didn't have elite bat speed, and if Aaron Judge didn't have great exit velocity and things like that, he wouldn't be Aaron Judge. Those are parts of the puzzle that create Aaron Judge. And there's other things that he does as well, swing decisions, swing path, like a lot of stuff. But the point I'm trying to make is you have to have all these things to become Aaron Judge. And Jordan Walker has some of those things. He doesn't have some of the other things, and he's trying to work on it. But bluntly, the stuff he doesn't have is stuff you can work on. The stuff he does have basically is the things that you are gifted by God.
I am just going to pause the season right here and continue to tell everybody that Jordan Walker's WAR is higher than Juan Soto and O'Neal Cruz and Aaron Judge and Fernando Tatis and Machado. So let's stop the count. Stop the count right now. This is Jordan Walker's season.
Okay, let's go. Let's do
good.
it. Let's make t-shirts.
Sorry, I'm going to go.
Jordan Walker's season.
How long do you give that hierarchy to stay in place?
Oh, I mean, those guys are great. So
3 days, 4 days.
I mean, I don't know. Could be a week. I
mean, those are Hall of Famers, and Jordan Walker he's barely got a 200 career batting average. Probably. I don't know. I don't have his career stats in front of me, but you get the idea.
So stop the count.
Yeah, stop the count.
I agree.
Matt, who's going to win the national championship tonight? Michigan versus UConn men's basketball. Who wins it?
I think Michigan's the better team. Now, give UConn credit for what they've been able to do in their last 2 games, finding ways to win, literally finding the way to win against Duke in the craziest way ever, and then being able to pull it out late against Illinois, which certainly was a bummer. We were all rooting for Illinois to win that game, but on paper, Michigan is the much better team. And there's been some people who have said this lately. This isn't an original thought by me, but I'll go with it nonetheless. When you look at Michigan's run in the NCAA tournament, the team that played them the tightest, the longest, was SLU. Now, they pulled away late in that game, so it looks like a one-sided game by the score. But when you look at where all these games have been at with 8, 9, 10 minutes left, SLU gave Michigan their biggest challenge so far in their tournament run.
Michigan, yes, I did see that stat. I think Michigan is going to dominate UConn. Also, I don't think Dan Hurley is very likable at all.
He's starting to grow on me.
I'm not a fan of him.
I mean, that's sort
like
of his
attitude.
shtick, I think.
I know.
I think he's
It's
he's
a little
villain,
Popovich.
right?
There's a little Popovich in him, but I think Greg Popovich was, at first he rubbed me the wrong way, but then I realized that the way he would talk to reporters was it was more respectful than you thought, and he was joking with them. Like they were in on it, as opposed to him just being an outright jerk to them.
If you had his respect, I think that is true. I think if there was a reporter that he thought wasn't doing the work and was asking questions that were not very good, I think that was a legitimate ribbing of them. But for the people who were around, who he had their respect, those conversations he would have with Craig Sager are of lore, like on the TNT Thursday night game where Craig Sager would talk to him. I mean, and there was a lot of mutual respect between those.
Yes. All right. We'll be watching tonight. We'll be watching that and Cardinals.
No questions
baseball.
about the Blues. Come on. They're 3 points out of the playoff spot.
Yeah. 3 points out of a playoff spot, Matt.
And Robert Thomas.
The Avalanche last night. That was last night's game. That Robert Thomas hat trick. Last night's Blues game was the most fun I've had watching a Blues game this year.
They were dynamic and they were fast, and that line of Holloway, Snuggerud, and Thomas was spectacular. It could be the hottest single line in the NHL right now, but that was Thomas's first career hat trick.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, who's from Colorado, is an Avalanche fan, so it was really good in the Pauly household last night.
So with 76 games played, they are just barely out of a playoff spot.
3 points.
Yep.
Let's go.
Is that funny?
Keep winning. Don't
All right.
lose again. Just don't lose again and they're in.
Good luck.
Okay.
Good luck. Don't die.
Your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Matt Pauly. He'll have the pregame show tonight. 4:50 first pitch, or excuse me, 5:45 first pitch. We have the pregame show at 4:50. Cardinals in Washington to take on the Nationals. And yeah, this is one of those series where the Cardinals really should take 2 of 3. I mean, it's regular season baseball. Anything can happen, but that's the kind of team you got to beat because they are stinky. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Get ready to laugh out loud, St. Louis. The outrageous Broadway hit Spam-A-Lot is riding into the fabulous Fox Theater May 5th through the 17th. From the twisted minds of Monty Python, this Tony Award-winning musical brings you killer rabbits, dancing knights, and non-stop hilarity. It's the legend of King Arthur like you've never seen it before. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
No one likes having to choose. That's why with America's best lineup of hybrids from Hyundai, you get the best of both worlds. Like the reliable and efficient Tucson Hybrid with America's best warranty. Or the stylish yet capable Santa Fe Hybrid with power to navigate the toughest terrain. It's like having your cake and eating it too. You know, if you could drive a cake. Hybrids from Hyundai. It's the best of both worlds. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's something I run into a lot with younger homeowners, and happened to be with my little boy. He was looking at purchasing homes, this house had a 20-plus-year-old furnace and air conditioner. And, of course, my advice was never buy a house with that old of an air conditioner. You will be buying a new one. And he goes, well, how much does a new one cost? For his size home, told him figure tens of thousands to over $20,000. If you're looking at a house, my personal opinion is make sure it's a newer unit. If not, request buyers to put in a newer unit. That makes it easier on your 15 or 30-year mortgage if it's included in the loan. Just my piece of advice for that. But if you're hearing this after the fact and you do need a new air conditioner, sorry to hear that, but call me, Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest of numbers. It is 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. God bless.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Hear what the president has to say, you will want to listen on 1120 a.m. We will carry it on that signal. 104.1 FM will have the Gas House Gang. So if you want to hear some sports, you want to hear Tom Ackerman and me talking to Greg Amsinger and Mike Claiborne and Amy talking Cardinals and hockey, maybe a little national championship in there as well, then you'll stick with 104.1 FM. If you want to hear Donald Trump talk, you can do that on 1120 a.m.
Wow, we are a service to the people.
That's right. We're all over the place.
We are all over the place.
We're making it easy for you.
That's right. I have a fun fact since we've been talking about the Artemis II, which, by the way, today they entered the lunar gravitational pull, which, as one of the astronauts put it, now, instead of rising up from the Earth, they are falling towards the moon, which is kind of a wild way to put it. But my brother told me that if you stood pretty close to the rocket when it took off, when the Artemis II took off, that the decibel level would kill you. And apparently that's true. It would blow out your eardrums, shatter your bones, and rupture internal organs.
Well, people a mile away feel it.
Yeah. But just the decibel level. Isn't that wild? That's the fun fact for the day.
The launch could have killed you if you were close enough to
wild.
it.
Science is wild, man.
It's a good thing that we study it and have people who study it and continue to further science. And we should appreciate those folks.
Well, and like I said, if you haven't followed the Artemis II, they're a hoot. Follow the crew.
Yeah, they seem like a good bunch of people. All right. So when we come back, we have something to talk about. And Amy and I were tossing this around in the office before the show today.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody uses Google, right? We've all used Google to search things. Well, now Google Gemini, which is the artificial intelligence part of Google search, those are the first results that pop up. And I have to tell you, they are so wrong a lot. A lot. And if you are relying on them only, you're doing a disservice to yourself and everybody around you. We will tell you what we experienced and what that might mean when we come back on KMOX. Hour 3 of the show. We're glad you're with us today. It is 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Michael's Baths. Were you feeling a little embarrassed when the family came to visit for the holidays and all you could think about was your bathroom not quite being up to par? Now is the perfect time to plan ahead for a spring installation of a beautiful new bathroom. At Michael's Baths, we specialize in beautiful, safe bathroom remodels from tub to shower conversions to full renovations, including paint and electrical work. Call 636-775-0800 or go to michaelsbaths.com. Mike is a great guy, does great work. That's michaelsbaths.com.
Spring cleaning rule number one, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenagers gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Spring is here. Hi, this is Tim Gamma.
And I'm Tom Gamma.
When it comes to tree care, call the name you can trust. Gamma Tree Experts, founded by our dad, Frank Gamma, in 1954.
Frank will be 91 this year, and the third generation of Gammas have joined the business.
Call our team of certified arborists to inspect your trees and shrubs today. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Now in our 72nd year.
For pruning, fertilization, and removal, call Gamma Tree Experts today or visit us at gammatree.com.
Your trees deserve the best care.
Beat the spring cleaning rush at Zero Res. This is the perfect time to clean your air ducts as you deal with allergy season, furnace, and air conditioning efficiency, post-winter, and more. Your air ducts are like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air suffers. Just check out the 5,900 Google reviews with 4.9 ratings. This month, get a whole system air duct cleaning for just $599. Pay less for fresh. 314-474-2020 or go online at zeroresstl.com.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 11 o'clock. It's sunny and 58 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. President Trump and First Lady Melania hosting the annual Easter egg roll at the White House. They appeared with the Easter Bunny on the Blue Room balcony to greet guests on the South Lawn. Trump touting his accomplishments to the kids and says the country is doing so well like it's never done before.
Things that we've done have not been done before. We've broken every record on the stock market. We've broken every record in our military. And what about the rescue that took place yesterday? What about that?
The last time a U.S. warplane was shot down in combat was during the 2003 U.S. invasion of Iraq. Iran state media says Tehran has rejected the latest ceasefire proposal and wants instead a permanent end to this war. Iran earlier said talks with the Trump administration are incompatible with war crimes, talking about Trump's Easter Sunday profanity-laced social media threat to start bombing Iran's power plants and bridges tomorrow and send them to hell. Meanwhile, oil prices are unsettled. The president's expected to give an update on his war in Iran at noon. We will carry that live on our 11:20 a.m. signal. An overnight house fire in Troy, Illinois leaves 3 dead. The Madison County Sheriff's Office says its deputies and firefighters with the Troy Fire Department responded to a house fire with people trapped about 11:15 last night. While several residents were able to escape the home without injury, firefighters found 3 deceased individuals inside the home. One additional person found with significant burn injuries and taken to an area hospital. The investigation is ongoing. The Grafton Ferry will begin year-round operations this week, opening at 5 a.m. Friday. The ferry will shuttle passengers between St. Charles County and Grafton now all year long, weather permitting. The ride takes about 5 to 10 minutes and can cut roadbound travel time by about 30 minutes. Previously, the ferry operated Friday through Sunday from mid-April through mid-November. From the KMOX business desk, he's no stranger to being nominated. St. Louis chef Nick Bognar is a finalist this year for James Beard Foundation Best Chef Midwest. He's also been nominated 7 other times. 2 of his restaurants, Indo and Sato, each received a nomination in the past.
You definitely see a boost in business. I think it's awareness of the restaurant and more people find out about the restaurant. It's a big deal to us. So many people have to kind of come together to make it happen. So that validation of all the hard work is probably the biggest thing.
Bognar got his first nomination for Rising Star in 2019 while working at his mom's restaurant, Nippon Tay, where he'd worked since he was a teenager. He jokes there's really nothing else he knows how to do. The James Beard Award winners will be announced in June in Chicago. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Not as cool this afternoon with intervals of clouds and sunshine. The high will be 64. Clouds and a low of 40 tonight. There could be a shower late tonight into early tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zare on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it is 58 degrees with sunshine. I'm Debbie Monterey, and the weather is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Chris Ranchi, Amy Mark scores because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
I just want to clarify something. When we were chatting with Matt Pauley, you remember when I went out on a limb about the baseball stat that I thought Tom Ackerman said about the hitting being consistent and something with the pitching over wins and losses. And Matt's like, well, that's not true. He goes, but if Tom Ackerman said it, something about it's true. And I said, I know. I go, well, maybe it was one of the numbers, the baseball stats or something. So what you're telling me is that you kind of thought you heard something? Yes, and I thought you're one of our listeners now. I know. And so I thought I would ask Matt about it if I was in the ballpark, that he would know what I was talking about, but I wasn't in the ballpark at all. So I went to go confirm with Tom Ackerman, and he said, no, absolutely not. I don't know what you're talking about. So I just want to apologize to everyone, and I'll never talk baseball again. So you just pulled something out of thin air. Yes, and I don't normally do that. I'm such a receipts person. I love receipts. I'm a big fan of notes, and I didn't have a receipt. I didn't have a note, but I thought, I'm pretty sure I heard this, and I went out on a limb. Never go out on a limb, folks, in front of a microphone. We have a text message who says, hey, don't bury the lead. How did Amy do in the major NCAA pool? I'm not talking about what happened. So this is the only pool that I am in. I don't know about you, Amy. Are you in others? No, but I think I'm in this pool twice because I accidentally signed up twice. You are. You said that. So I'm in one March Madness pool. Amy, same, but she's filled out 2 brackets for some reason. It was an accident. And Major Garrett is the one who sets this up. He's been having it for years, and there are a couple hundred people who are in it. And last week, he notified us, as we brought him in for our regular segment with him on Thursday, that Amy Markscores was in second place overall out of 203 or something. The only perfect Final Four. I had the only perfect Final Four selection. And as Major said, if Arizona were to win, I would have won the whole caboodle. That's right. Well, there's been a development. It's a stupid development, unfortunately. So the development is that Amy is no longer in second place. No. I am. I thought you were in first. No, I am in second place right now. There is a guy who is in front of me who has picked Michigan to win. I have picked UConn. So basically that's what'll happen. If whoever wins tonight, if it's Michigan, this guy named Brian or whatever the hell his name is, he'll win the whole pool. If UConn wins, then I win the pool. Michigan's going to win. Probably. I would say probably, but I don't. You keep talking about dominant. I don't think that's going to happen. But it's the
they have a good chance of winning. They're the favorite to win, but I would not say it's going to be a blowout or anything. At any rate, I am not.
That's
Look,
the development.
I'm not celebrating one way or the other. I just happy to know I'm better than Amy, which I think we knew that.
Huh.
Have you tried using Google lately?
So, okay, a couple of things here as we get into this 314-436-7900. We always love to hear from you on the text line. And yes, the Google. Ranj and I have talked about this before multiple times on how when you Google, the Google Gemini, the AI helper, pops up right away and kind of dominates the page, at least on your phone. I don't know if you have that where it's all the AI and you have to
it's like the top. It's the whole top half of the result.
And you can't keep scrolling down. You have to aggressively swipe up to just get to the regular results because the default is always the Google AI. And I was looking for something specific. Now, this was before Robert Thomas scored his first career hat trick last night. But I thought, I wonder if the Blues might make it to the playoffs without a 20-goal scorer. I'm sure that's happened. Maybe that has never happened before. Now, I know that just Googling a broad question like that usually isn't very helpful, but I thought I'll at least see if it narrows down, brings me maybe in the right direction.
Right.
So I Googled, has any NHL team made it to the playoffs without having a 20-goal scorer on the roster in a full/non-shortened season? And the AI overview initially gave me an answer about the New Jersey Devils. And said, the New Jersey Devils did this in this year. And I thought, I feel like that's not right. Well, it was the neutral zone trap around that time, but I don't think that's right. So, and it said not only was it the New Jersey Devils, but they did it with these two players who ended the 82-game season with exactly 19 goals. And I looked it up. Of course, it wasn't right at all. And that's where I stopped. I thought, this is not right at all. And so I brought this in this morning to talk to you about it. And I typed in word for word the exact same question. And it says, yes, an NHL team has made the playoffs without a 20-goal scorer in a non-shortened full 82-game season. And one of the examples it gives, let's see here, is the 1997 LA Kings. It says the 1996-97 Los Angeles Kings qualified for the Stanley Cup playoffs despite not having a single player on their roster score 20 goals during the 82-game regular season. This is from the Los Angeles Times, it cites. And I thought, that doesn't sound right at all. The 96-97 Los Angeles Kings did have 20-goal scorers. Ray Ferraro scored 25 goals. Eddie Olczyk scored 21 goals. They had multiple 20-goal scorers.
So the result was just wrong. Just flat out wrong.
It was wrong, but I closed the tab. Because the result was wrong. And I opened and I told you like it was wrong. And you said, we should talk about this on the show.
Yeah.
So I Googled it again. The exact same. So remember, the first time was the New Jersey Devils.
Exact
the second
same
time
prompt.
was the Los Angeles Kings. This time I Googled it again 5 minutes later. Yes. Several NHL teams have made the playoffs without a 20-goal scorer in the regular season, although it is an incredibly rare occurrence in the 82-game season. One of them are the 98, I'm dyslexic, the 98-99 Ottawa Senators, led by Sean McEachern and Alexei Yashin, who both finished with 19 goals in the full 82-game season. The team was highly defensive, and yet they still made the playoffs. So I looked it up. Alexei Yashin had 44 goals that year.
So it was just completely wrong.
Yes.
Wrong again, different result, and also completely
And
wrong.
Sean McEachern had 25, and another player had 35, and multiple players had 26 and 31 goals. It wasn't even close to being right, but
So
wasn't that a
this
very
is-
specific answer?
So yeah, it is, and it sounds authoritative.
Yes.
I had one yesterday where I heard somebody say, hey, did you, by the way, just to preface this, if you haven't been paying attention, Miles Michaelis, former Cardinals pitcher, is now with the Nationals. He has been awful. He's been so bad for them. and just his last start gave up 4 home runs in the game. He's on a miserable start to the season. And yesterday, somebody at Easter said, oh, Miles Michaelis was designated for assignment, which means, for those who don't really follow baseball, you've heard the term DFA, designated for assignment. It means that they are trying to find something to do with you. Like they can either, it's a 10-day period. They can either waive you completely, work out a trade, or move you to the minors or something like that. DFA basically means you're done. It means they're getting rid of you. And so I had not heard that, and I had not seen it. So I looked on Twitter. I couldn't find. I saw a couple of posts that looked suspect, so I didn't take them seriously. And then I Googled it. And I Googled, was Miles Michaelis designated for assignment? The AI Gemini result says, according to reports, the Washington Nationals designated pitcher Miles Michaelis for assignment. They haven't, though. That's completely wrong. They might in the future, but they have not done that right now. So, we have been used to Googling something and then getting a bunch of results of news stories or news articles, which you can then search for yourself and read the outcome. You can find the bit of information you're looking for. Well, now this AI is trying to make it all concise for you, but it is so wrong. That's just wrong. It's flat out incorrect information. So it makes me think that there are probably a number of people out there who Google anything, then the first result that pops up, they just take it like, oh, well, AI says that this is what it is. And then they run with it.
Especially when it's so specific. Like when it said it was rare, but these are the 2 guys and they both finished the season with 19 goals. Now, this is really interesting. This is radio in real time. We had a texter type AI before the search term.
Minus AI
before the search term. And I did that with the goals and I got a different answer. And in fact, it says it is extremely rare for an NHL team to make the playoffs in a full 82-game season without a 20-goal scorer. And then it keeps talking several paragraphs. In summary, in a full non-shortened season, every modern NHL playoff team has had at least one player score 20 goals. So it is way more correct. Now, I just did it with the Miles Michaelis thing, and it still said that he was designated for assignment.
If you do type in minus AI anywhere in the search, so I type Miles Michaelis designated for assignment minus AI, it does not give you the Gemini. It just bypasses the Gemini result. So I would, for the time being, depending on what you're looking for, I would consider just putting minus AI in your Google search so you're not getting the stupid Gemini result, which is wrong a lot of times.
And this is terrible radio now. I apologize because I really am having a moment of dyslexia. When it said every modern team has had a 20-plus goal scorer, I did AI minus. I did the minus after the AI.
Okay. That's not what you do. It's minus
I know,
AI.
but it gave me the correct answer.
Oh.
At any rate, no matter how you do it, Miles Michaelis
has not been designated for assignment. He is
up.
still with the Nationals.
Yeah.
And that result is wrong.
What are you getting?
I was going to say he has not been designated for assignment, but he's still playing with the St. Louis Cardinals, though. That's what AI might tell you.
Do you still have that?
Huh?
Do you still have that?
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you did get that answer.
No. But if you ask,
sometimes you get old results.
Yeah. Ask for the Cardinals lineup, it'll say Matt Carpenter today or Paul Goldschmidt's batting today. It'll give you the wrong results.
Oh yeah, last year it told me that Matt Carpenter and Paul Goldschmidt, like you said, were starting. And here's the thing: I did minus AI and then I did AI minus, and I'm still getting different answers each time, which may be because the internet's changing every second. But it is so unreliable, and also the fact that you can't easily replicate a search is a little concerning.
That you're not getting the same results if you put the exact same prompt in. Yeah, it's super concerning. I mean, I've got a lot of concerns when it comes to artificial intelligence. Google results are near the bottom of those concerns. I think I have much greater concerns about workforce and what AI is going to do to society in general. And there are a lot of reasons to be concerned about that. But this is still it's an annoyance it is also a bigger deal when you put it in the context of people probably Google things and just take that result right off the top and run with it and think that's the correct thing.
And Raj, and even if...
And that could go for anything. I mean, we're talking about Miles Michaelis being the pitcher of the Nationals, which it's not going to affect your life. It doesn't really matter, but it means that you can get a very, very wrong result on anything that you search, and people will take that as the word.
And the thing is, we are searching things that are easily verifiable, but a lot of people, I mean, a lot of the times I'm searching something that's not easily verifiable from other sources, which is why I'm searching it in the first place. And only because I'm very familiar with hockey and saw, the 97, 98 Devils or whatever. And I'm like, that's not right. That doesn't seem right. And because I knew it didn't seem right, I was able to go to Hockey Reference or NHL Stats and confirm how wrong it was. But again, if you are not vigilant, if you are not cynical, you are not going to, you may be trusting AI and Google results way too easily because, again, the Devils, the New Jersey Devils stat and the Los Angeles Kings stat was cited the Los Angeles Times. And then I clicked on the article and the article said nothing about what the AI summary was. And not minus AI or AI minus. I mean, all of that. Who's doing all of this? Are people going to be smart enough to know that this isn't true?
No, most people will just take the result that's given to them and go with it. Our very own Matt Pajeski is in love with somebody he's never seen. And it made us think about what, how it used to be when you couldn't search somebody. Speaking of Google, you couldn't search somebody and see what they look like. Maybe you just hear the sound of their voice and you've fallen in love. That has happened with Matt Pajeski. He's in love.
I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this when we come back on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you're financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the really easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. All with no closing costs with that Bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the Bagel loan, NMLS 226715.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Most sellers put their home on the market and they just wait to see what happens. Well, I'm Kevin Wheeler, and I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And Gloria, is there a better way to sell?
There is. Instead of listing your home the traditional way and hoping for the right buyer, I can get you up to 8 competitive cash offers right from the start. That means you're not guessing what your home might sell for. You're looking at the real offers and choosing the one that works the best for you. It also helps you to set the right price and create stronger demand if you decide to go to market. It gives you control, leverage, and a clear path forward before you accept just any offer. And remember, I'll guarantee to sell your home at 100% of the market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Before you sell your home, See what your options are. Call the one that I trust. That's Gloria Lou, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000, or online at youridoc.com.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Love it. I don't care who knows it.
You ever hear the sound of somebody's voice and that's all you know about them, and maybe they're pleasant when you speak to them, or they just have a
you can have a handsome voice, or a beautiful voice,
or
yeah.
a cute sounding voice, like, oh, I bet she's cute. I've done that a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
But with the advent of, at first, MySpace, I think Friendster was in there too, and Facebook, and now Instagram, it is easier than ever to find out what somebody looks like. But is it still possible to find out or to fall in love with a person you've never seen? And how do you fall in love without even trying to find out what they look like? Our very own Matt Pajeski is in love with somebody at CBS News.
Well,
and
Anonymous, buddy, anonymous.
yeah, we're not going to give the name, but it is with somebody at CBS.
Someone who's
And-
not on camera.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. This is a behind the scenes person, and you do not know who they are, but we're not going to reveal the name here. And Matt has decided that he's in love with this lady.
You know, I reach out to her every once in a while to assist with some of the guests that we get on. We get a lot of great CBS reporters, correspondents on the show. So I've got to go to their point person to set these interviews up. And it's just one of those things where, like, you email this person all the time. They're very friendly. You know, they say, hey, Matt, good to hear from you today. I sent her an email today. Hope you had a great Easter weekend. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. I did have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Miss so-and-so, I'm not going to say her name. But now
Think that's flirting?
Yeah.
Think she's flirting?
Yeah.
I hope
This is
you
how
had a
desperate times have gotten for me, by the way. So now I'm too scared to look her up because what if she's
Hideous.
Hideous.
That's terrible.
A few decades older than me. I don't want that. I've got this made up fantasy in my mind. I'm just going to never look her up.
First of all, before Amy and I tell you something,
Yeah.
do you think that she has Googled you? Do you think she's looked you up?
I hope not.
Did she do minus AI, Matt Pajeski?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You
What do
know
you think
what,
the Gemini search result is for Matt Pajeski?
And honestly, there's no such thing as hideous. That's terrible to say that. True love is beautiful.
It
Love is
really
Blind.
is.
And when you see her,
I've watched Love is Blind, and
She will be
my God, that
beautiful.
show. Whew. All right. Well, Amy and I have something to tell you.
we were able to locate.
We've located her.
and she's in this building.
Whoa.
No, we've located
Yeah.
her, and we got to tell you, buddy, she's kind of cute.
She's a looker.
Yeah, she's a looker.
really cute.
All right.
She is really, really cute and
Yeah,
looks age appropriate.
Yeah, age appropriate. I wanted to tell you that she's 86 years old and
That's
just
rude.
refuses to retire and has 37 grandchildren. But we thought it would be better to give you the truth. And she's a cutie.
All right. I appreciate that.
So what are you going to do about
Do you
it?
want to see a picture or no?
I'll look her up myself.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to.
Can you look her up right now?
Continue to do what I do and just send friendly work emails.
And then you're going to start to send photos.
Oh, not on the work email.
Send photos.
He's going to send some private photos. I
No,
bet.
Don't
not
say
over
that.
email.
Yo,
Especially
not
the-
over email. Do you have her mobile number?
No,
I
that's
do.
harassment. That's harassment.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
What if
it
we're
is.
from different companies?
That's right. We do.
Well, but you're unfortunately, I think technically,
Oh, we might be the same.
still.
No.
I think we're just friends with CBS Radio now.
With benefits.
We are friends with benefits with CBS Radio.
I think you can still harass someone from a different company just because workplace harassment happens between two different employers.
But
it
is
doesn't
it wrong?
mean that
Is
it's
it
not harassment.
Is it wrong for him to just text her one day and be like, "Hey, you're a nice lady. What's your story?"
I know you don't know what I look like, and I only found out what you look like an hour ago, but what do you think about me?
I
now?
would, first of all, if you're going to do this, I would give her all of the information up front. I would not hold anything back. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is you should tell her right away that you have a peanut allergy.
Oh.
Say
Tell
you
her
have
right
a
away.
peanut allergy and you've fallen in love with her voice.
Or email.
Now, you're not
Or
going to like
email voice. Oh, what if she sounds like one of the mice in Cinderella?
Oh, that's a problem. Yeah.
Or
like
what if she
squeaky.
has like vocal fry?
First of all, hold on.
Matt.
Hold on. She doesn't know the Cinderella story. She's Matt's age.
Oh, everybody knows.
Oh, everybody knows Cinderella.
Nah, I think it's fallen out of favor.
No, I said, but what if she sounds like the mice?
Oh, sounds
Yeah.
mousy.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you now.
It's a nice or a vocal fry.
Vocal fry's the worst.
You know, I had a
Matt.
situation like this 25 years ago. There was this, and I cannot remember her name. I think it was Jenny, but I don't know for sure.
Cute.
And she was in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we were, and she was super adorable on the phone. And I had many conversations
Yeah.
with her. And we were supposed to go do, which we did end up doing. I had to miss it because of a funeral, but there was an event we were doing in Wisconsin, and we were going to be there, and she was part of it. And I was like, I cannot wait to meet this lady, and I never did. No idea what she looks like. Can't remember her name.
Why didn't you
And
meet
she
her?
was funeral. At a funeral instead.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Real downer.
So I
couldn't
never
make
got to see.
time?
No, I was just gonna go up there for the event. I wasn't gonna go up, Otherwise,
Well, maybe you should have.
maybe.
What if she was man? What if she was the love of your life
I
in
don't think
Green
that's
Bay,
possible.
Wisconsin?
Yeah,
I
just
think
not
I think it
possible.
is possible because you're a
No.
Bears fan, and what kind of beautiful karma would that be that you fall in love with the girl
With a
in Green
Packers
Bay?
fan?
Yeah.
A cheesehead.
No, I think eventually I would have had to throw her in the lake because she'd have been rooting for the Packers. It would have been. It just wouldn't have worked.
Well, Matt, how do you feel now? Did you look her up?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I approve.
She's super cute.
Cute,
if you
right? What are you
didn't
gonna
approve, then
So
you're the
what
problem.
are you gonna do about it?
Absolutely nothing. That's what I do best.
Oh,
Do you?
that's so sad.
Do you talk to
Of
women
course.
when you're out and about?
I do. Yeah.
Have you ever talked to a girl?
I have. I'm not going to email a random person though.
Wait till the whole CBS News thing is over, and
right.
then
Get her in a down when she's real down.
yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, can I comfort you?
Oh gosh. Yeah.
You should try that.
I'm worried about that.
You are
Over
Don't use-
email.
Don't use that word. Don't say that.
comfort,
Yeah.
The email thing. I don't like.
not even. You have her phone number.
Yeah.
Text her.
Okay.
What if you just what you can do is pretend like you're going to New York anyway. Say, hey, I'm actually going to be in New York in June, and I want to see the CBS News offices.
Yeah.
Are you going to be around? It'd be great to
Yeah, I'd
meet
love to see you.
I'd
And
love to
then-
network.
And then if
Yeah.
she says no, then you've never gone to New York. But if she says yes, then just go to New York.
Now I have to buy a plane ticket to meet this person that already has a boyfriend or is engaged.
Well, you
probably.
find that out first.
Well, how do I find that out?
Email her
What if-
right now. Are you married or engaged?
She arrives to pick you up at the airport, and then she sees you, and then she says,
Ooh.
"Oh, hey, we're gonna meet my boyfriend later. Is that
Yeah,
okay?"
yeah,
Mm. Texter here says, when I have been on dating sites, I will not meet up with someone until I have first had a phone conversation with them. I need to know if the man sounds like Mickey Mouse or has a speech impediment
Oh,
or has bad grammar.
or a peanut allergy.
What's wrong with this? I think a speech,
Speech
impediment can
doesn't matter.
be adorable.
Yeah, that's rude. But bad grammar or sounds like Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is a tough one. What about Kermit the Frog? Because Patrick Mahomes kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. That's what it sounds
Was
like.
that your?
That was him. Was like, "Oh, we're gonna win tonight." Well, that's kind of what he sounds like. Jacob is watching on YouTube and says, "Matt, you're okay.
Yeah.
You can text her and not get in trouble. You get in trouble if it's persistent and unwanted. I've been in corporate HR meetings for years."
Oh, sounds like there's a lot of unwanted interaction going on there.
Yeah, it sounds like Jacob.
That's right.
That's like someone saying, "I know a lot about marriage. I've been married 4 times."
Well, that would make you an expert in marriage.
I'll consider this. I'll consider it
I think you should
This
give
is
her
very exciting.
for the bit,
Maybe we should make this our poll
not for the bit, buddy. It could be your
for my life.
yeah, it could
for
be
your life.
You might have to move to New York.
I really don't want to do that.
Really?
Yeah,
It's a fun city.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, no offense, but this city would eat you alive.
Oh yeah.
It's from Seinfeld. Chris and Amy on KMOX at on 11:20 at noon. We're going to bring you President Trump's, I guess, press conference. He's going to speak about the war in Iran. So if you want to hear that, you can hear it on 11:20 a.m. But 104.1 FM will continue on with the Gas House Gang. Tom Ackerman and me. We'll have Greg Amsinger on the show. Amy will talk Blues hockey with us. Mike Claiborne on as well. This is 104.1 FM KMOX.
All right, what are you doing Saturday, April 25th at 8 a.m.? Join the St. Louis Work Zone Awareness Run, 5K and 1 mile fun run. It is a great annual event that, as the name implies, is dedicated to promoting safety for road workers and also raising awareness about work zone hazards. It's a good reminder for all of us as we are driving around town. I know we're all in a hurry. We're all distracted. We're distracted by our phones. That if we do go through a construction zone, there are cones on the side of the road. Slow down. Put your phone down, and let's make sure that all of those MoDOT workers who are making the roads safe for us so we can get home to our families, let's make sure they can get home safely to their families. It's a ton of fun. You can bring the whole family. In fact, we were talking to the crew at MoDOT, and they're going to have different work trucks there, fire trucks. So if you have little ones, it's always a lot of fun for them to get up close and personal with those big monster trucks. And again, it's on April 25th, Saturday morning, right there at 141 and 40, the MoDOT headquarters. Google STL Work Zone Awareness Run to sign up.
St. Louis is a baseball town, and the Gas House Gang talks Cardinals baseball. Ackerman, Ranji, Miklas, and Claves bring informed opinions and real insight. Smart baseball talk from guys who truly know the game. And every Tuesday at noon, it's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. Passion, knowledge, the best baseball talk in town. The Gas House Gang. Weekdays at noon. We know baseball. KMOX.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Dave Glover. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free and 24 months with no payments or interest plus $500 off. Call 314-334-2522. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
59 degrees and sunny. Sunshine today, a few clouds, a high of 65. Get outside and enjoy it. Tonight, cloudy, low of 42.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Honey, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Oh, you are, but this one's certified, background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Trusted pros who do it right.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. So this is not the time for, I hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 14th and 16th at Bartolino's Twin Oaks. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines can impact your returns, dealing with issues like taxes, outliving your money, and long-term care. Find out if your retirement strategy is truly stress tested for today's economy. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Tonight, the Cards, the Nationals.
Ameren Total Access 450. First pitch 545.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, we have been talking about the Artemis 2 mission and its crew all morning, so no better time to welcome in Peter King, correspondent for CBS News Radio, who, among reporting some of the biggest news stories over the past few decades, specialized in covering the space shuttle program and space exploration. And Peter, we're so thrilled to talk with you today.
Well, great to be on with you from the Kennedy Space Center. Good afternoon from the Eastern Time Zone.
Well, it's great to talk with you. Now, man, now I've got a lot of questions, but since you're at Kennedy Space Center now, I guess I'll start with the news that Artemis 2 is now in the lunar sphere of influence instead of the Earth's sphere of influence. So what exactly does that mean for the crew, and does it feel different to them?
Well, I don't think it feels any different, but it certainly means that their ship is traveling a little bit faster than it did. It was an uphill ride after breaking out of Earth's gravity, but being in the lunar sphere of influence means it's kind of a downhill trip a little bit, being pulled in by the moon's gravity.
So I want to make sure I have this right. The timeline of what is happening today, if I'm not mistaken, they are going to officially break that record of how far man has actually been away from the moon, the distance between the Earth and the moon. And that's supposed to happen at 12:56 Central, 1:56 Eastern, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And then they will exceed that record by about 4,000 miles or so through the rest of the day before they loop around the backside of the moon.
Peter, you, as I mentioned, that you were the principal reporter for coverage of NASA and the space shuttle program from 1995 until its conclusion in 1911 for CBS, 96 to 2011. That was more than 60 missions. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, your career covering those missions and how this one feels different or similar to those previous missions.
Well, it's a big, big difference because obviously the space shuttle only went into Earth orbit, and the Orion spacecraft, Artemis 2, is going to the moon. I mean, that's a huge, huge difference. But this is not to discount the shuttle program and all the years that it flew and that I covered it, because I got to cover some incredible missions, the Hubble telescope missions, the coverage of the building of the International Space Station, which started in the late 1990s and ended with the last shuttle flight in 2011. Of course, there was the tragic Columbia accident and the aftermath of that. And I have to tell you, that was the greatest journalistic experience of my life. The simple reason that we were on the air that day as it happened. We wound up being on the air for 8.5 hours straight. And I covered the developments after that, the investigation and the rejiggering of the shuttle program and the return to flight from start to finish over the next couple of years. And that was an extraordinary experience. The building of the International Space Station and the Hubble Space Telescope refurbishing missions, just amazing to watch astronauts at work in those bulked up spacesuits and gloves, putting everything together and making it look easy when it was very, very difficult. And of course, the commercial crew program with SpaceX and Boeing. That's been a big deal as well. There were interplanetary missions that I got to cover as well. It was very, very exciting. But, you know, for me, this will be the last space flight that I do for CBS News Radio. As you're well aware, CBS News Radio is going to disappear after May 22nd. But a mission to the moon is something that I dreamed about doing ever since I was a kid growing up in the Apollo era. And this is a nice way to wrap up a long run at CBS News Radio.
Well, Peter, obviously we have a lot of thoughts on what's happening with the radio side on CBS News, because we think all of you do terrific work there, and that's just it's an absolute shame. I'm just really upset about all of that. Peter King is with us here on KMOX, and does this Artemis mission, does this feel like the beginning of something?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, because this mission, assuming that it finishes successfully, and we have no indication that it won't, this sets up the rest of the program to land on the moon, build a moon base there, and so on and so forth. Now, the thing that matters along the way is, will the money always be there? And that's always going to be a question. But right now, it sounds like the administration and NASA are committed not just to this flight, but to doing an Earth orbit flight next year that would test out 2 lunar landers and then 2 lunar landings in 2028, assuming everything goes well, again, with Artemis 1 and Artemis 2.
That's why I asked that question, because we go there, 50 something years ago. We go there a handful of times, and then that's it. It felt like there was going to be more coming, and then half a century goes by before we finally go back. So there's always that question, at least for me, of will the momentum of this die?
Well, and let's go back to 1969 for a minute, because I can remember after Apollo 11, Vice President Spiro Agnew saying that we would be on Mars in 10 years. And of course, that didn't happen. There were initiatives that started during the first President Bush's administration that had no traction whatsoever. The second President Bush, after the Columbia accident, established the Constellation program, whereas the shuttle would be retired and NASA would be concentrating on deep space. That didn't survive more than a few years. The Ares rocket that was developed for Constellation was one and done. But we should also tell you that the Orion capsule that is being flown right now, that came out of Constellation. That was being developed during Constellation in the mid-2000s. And in fact, it was Administrator Mike Griffin in the 2000s who referred to its capabilities as Apollo on steroids. And it's a quote that I've remembered and loved for all these years, because it really, really said a lot.
We, as you mentioned, deep space, or people talking about Mars, and if they have a base on the moon, how that could be used for more exploration. And I know that's kind of maybe the more fun side of things, but how much of this Artemis mission, and even the idea of a base on the moon, is also motivated by geopolitical and defense concerns, because China could militarize space or Russia could militarize space, and we need to make sure we are there first?
Well, there you go. And you know what? If you want to see what happens when that happens, there is a great series on Apple TV called For All Mankind, which is an alternative history of space, but projecting into the future. And that kind of scenario is definitely metered out in that. China has already said that it will land humans on the moon by 2030. And, something, I think it would be a big loss for the U.S. if we don't beat them back there, even though we've been there and done that. You're right. It's a very, very strategic thing, and it's something only superpowers can do. So let's see where it goes.
We are following this along pretty closely. It's super interesting, and I love the idea that the general public is interested in this, because it does seem like our attention spans, or our attention toward the space program, it usually only increases if there's something terrible happens, right? So the fact that this has happened, and it's a great story, and we are all paying close attention to it. I love that we're in this, and certainly for somebody who covers it, I know you do too.
Well, I absolutely do, but I also know that, it's a different environment now than it's ever been, and it's a more volatile media environment now, and people are consuming all kinds of different media right now. And everybody, I fear that everybody's going to forget about this in another few days after they get back okay. It is my big fear that, people will forget about it and they'll go on with their lives and, won't start paying attention again till maybe next year when they fly again, and certainly in 2 years. There's a lot of news out there right now, and that's it's hard sometimes, believe it or not, to sell a space story when there is so much other stuff going on that seems so much more vital to us in our everyday lives. I mean, I passed by a gas station's on the way out here to the Cape, where gas is, now anywhere from $4.10 to $4.20 a gallon, and people's pocketbooks are hurting, and the economics are tough, and the politics are tough, and we're in a war. So that people are paying attention to this story as a bright light is a good thing. I don't expect that glow to last.
Peter King, we appreciate your reporting. Thank you for being with us today, and congratulations on everything that you've done there. And we've been following you along very closely for years. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And if we don't talk again, and if I'm not on KMOX again in this kind of situation, I just want to say what an honor it's been to have talked with so many of your hosts over the years. KMOX has been a beacon for St. Louis forever, and it's one of those stations that I've always respected and loved and have relished the chance to be on the air there. You guys have one of the best stations in the country, one of the best stations in our chain of affiliates, and it has been an absolute pleasure to be there with you.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Peter King, CBS News Radio, with us here on KMOX. Yeah, man, it's a real bummer about CBS News Radio, and we have about a month and a half, little over that, until CBS News Radio goes away completely. It's too bad. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Tonight, very big night in sports. We are going to have a national champion in college basketball. State of Michigan is very excited about this. Well, most of the state. And then you've got the state of Connecticut. Same deal. Final college basketball game is happening tonight, and FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost. You can build the same game parlay if you're looking at taking a shot at a bigger payout. Here's your opportunity. You can also try some live betting and jump in after the tip-off starts. Whenever you feel comfortable, whenever you want to get in, you can do that. Best of all, with FanDuel, if you win, you get paid right away. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri to claim your first profit boost and keep the action going from now till the championship again tonight. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
We're starting a program here in the upper GI space called PREVENT. That's the acronym, and it's really aimed at trying to detect these cancers early and even to kind of, reverse them and understand kind of the science behind why they form.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th, and you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to kmox.com/events.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hey, Matt. I don't know if you watch The Takeout with Major Garrett, but he had a Pentagon reporter. Her name is Eleanor Watson. Now, she's cute.
Wait.
Now I
gotta look up Eleanor Watson.
We have people who are now listening, and you can leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app.
Oh,
Just
she's
like-
super cute.
Cool.
And so now we have people who are just pointing out attractive women that Matt should go
in
after.
Media. Attractive women in the CBS News circuit. The orbit, you might say.
So if things don't work out with the other person
The
that
other
we can't
person who
name,
doesn't know I exist, and I don't really even know.
I'm
her.
afraid I'm actually going to say the name.
I know.
yeah, it's fine. Don't do it. But you're okay.
Matt is interested in someone in the CBS orbit who is young and cute.
And he had not seen her until today. He actually fell in love with her.
I know. But that's when you
just
know it's
by conversing. And
Over
you've never
email.
have you heard her voice?
No.
You don't even talk to her.
She might smoke a pack a day.
So you fell in love over email. Does this now make you more empathetic to people who fall in love with chatbots?
No, I will never understand that.
What about people who fall in love with prisoners?
Gosh, that's bad too. They're all so bad.
What do you mean?
Don't fall in love with criminals or serial
How do you
killers
know
or any of that stuff.
How do you know neither of these ladies have been in prison?
Because I feel like they work for a great company, so I feel like they do their background
You're
checks.
allowed a second chance.
I don't think you get out of prison and work for the Pentagon within a year and a half.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. I mean, it
Unless
depends.
you're the president.
What was the crime?
Oh.
No, you just don't even face any punishment in that case.
Yeah.
Well,
At any rate,
Matt, we're
I'm
pulling for
excited
you.
for you.
Thanks.
Hey,
And if you have somebody you'd like to set up
Matt
with Matt, go ahead and let
we're
us
trying
know.
to get him hitched.
Yeah.
Hitched by the 4th of July, we say.
I'm a catch.
4th of July.
Yeah.
Peanut
He doesn't-
allergy.
Who says that?
Because last year or yesterday, I can't remember. Matt told me, Amy, so help me, if I spend another 4th of July by myself, it's not going to be good.
Why 4th? That's not a holiday that I think, oh man, I need a companion. Watch the fireworks.
Are you sure that didn't happen?
I'm pretty sure.
I bet it did.
It was yesterday or last year. I don't remember.
If you know any around mid-20s-ish women who
Up
don't
to
mind
45,
red hair,
probably.
who like red curly hair,
pale,
Brown shoes.
peanut allergy,
and peanut allergies.
Wait, are we naming them or him?
Me.
No,
Oh,
that
that's right.
are okay with somebody who has all those things.
Listen, if you're an attractive young woman and you're single and you love brown shoes and peanut allergies, we have a man.
We got
for
a
you.
guy for you. You know, we really think you should download the Odyssey app like our listener just did to leave us voice messages, but more importantly, to listen to the station live. Take it with you wherever you go. And then if you missed anything, the interviews, the full segments, the full show, it is all there on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find the Chris and Amy show. Go back and listen. We hope you do. And we hope you come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Coming up next, it is the Gas House Gang. For those of you listening on 104.1 FM, if you're listening on 11:20 a.m., you'll be hearing Donald Trump's remarks about Iran. So 11:20 for President Trump, right here, 104.1 FM for the Gas House Gang next.
This is terrible radio now.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Pokemon